What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for being here. And firstly, my apologies for the time difference delay. That's my bad. I did not check the time zones properly, as always. So we're a little bit later today, but thanks for being here if you can make it. I'm super excited about this one. Posed Up, episode 17. Can't believe it's 17 already. I know I say that every week, but I can't believe we're up to 17 already. And I'm super excited about this one. Talking to a man who's just got himself some Moji cases and is a dad like myself. So I'm looking forward to chatting about that and sharing our struggles of being collectors whilst being dads. But without further ado, let's bring in my special guest today, Graham from the Jedi Knights Watch. What's up, mate? Thanks for being here.
Hey, thank you so much for the invite, John. I appreciate it. The time difference, it almost feels like you're even further than on the other side of the world with how many hours difference there are. So I have a hard enough time with the US just trying to see what the time zone everybody's on. So yeah. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's all good, brother. It's all good. We're here now. So it's 9:30 for me in the morning here. So the sun's out. It's going to be a hot day today here. So if I start sweating, it's because it's quite warm. And then under these lights, it also gets pretty warm. But I understand it's 8:30 p.m. for you. So
yes,
nice and chill. Nice. Very cool.
I'm in the past. You're in the future.
We are in the future. I can tell you the future is good. The future is good. It's going to be a great day for you tomorrow. Oh, mate, look, I really appreciate you being here. I've been catching up on a lot of your content recently, and I thought it's about time we sit down and have a chat and get to know each other a little bit more. So I appreciate you coming on and taking part in the show here. Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, thank you so much. And, you know, I've seen a lot of your stuff too, and I think that's why I was kind of intimidating coming on the show, because you do a great job posing your figures. And, you know, I've seen you on Justin's collection and then some of your posing sessions. You know, I'm just like, some of these figures, I'm like, I didn't even think you could get them into that position.
But, I do push it a little bit, Just
I'm sitting over here with like my museum poses and whatnot. And this guy's going all crazy with Spider-Man, and it's really cool. So, I mean, it's awesome that you're able to do that stuff. And it's a gift. It really is.
Oh, appreciate it, mate. I think I'll share a little secret. Like when I put them back on the shelf, generally they're in museum-like poses at the minute. Like I do dynamic stuff when I'm filming or taking photos, but generally when I'm not doing anything with them, I put them in nice standard safe poses, especially like with Spidey. I'll let the suits relax, because I find if you put them back into relaxed poses, the suits, any creases tend to just go away, as opposed to like leaving it in a dynamic pose, which is actually brings me to something I want to talk to you about in a sec with the Moji cases. Because at the minute, the reason why I do that is my display is like in disarray. There's nothing going on there. It's literally just a storage. All the details are just storage units to hold the figures while I'm not using them, so it doesn't look pretty. When I get the Moji cases, though, that's when we're going to do some things, like when it comes to displays and all that type of stuff. And I see your beautiful Moji cases in the back, so we'll definitely I definitely want to ask you about that. But before we get started, let me just address the chat, because I am terrible at that, and I am working to get better. I always see Lael, and he's always so good at addressing the chat. I need to get better at that, because he is the master at that. But we've got Bob Dylan in the house. What's up, mate? Thanks for being here. Renz, legend Renz. If you haven't seen Ren's stuff, check out his artwork. Surely everybody's seen it by now. He's a master artist. Check his stuff out. Absolute legend. Lewis Labitz, thanks for being here, mate. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I don't know what time it is for you in the world, but thanks for being here, guys. Let us know. But yeah, so before we get started, mate, you just got the Moji cases in. I just saw you drop the video, 2 of the after you made them, right? You dropped that this morning, is that right? Or today?
Today I dropped 3, how to assemble, and then how to install the lighting, and then how to join the Moji cases. There are some videos out there. The Collector comes to mind. He does a really good job showing it, but I'm like, I'm here, I'm putting them together. I might as well at least just add it to the channel so I kind of have it. Plus, there are some things like I've watched somebody's video here, somebody's video here, somebody's video here, and I learned different things from each one. So it's kind of like, well, if I can incorporate that all into one, maybe it can help even just a couple people that get Moji cases just kind of avoid a little bit of a headache, especially joining them together. It seems so easy, but I couldn't figure out the little clip for the life of me on how to get it in. And then I finally sifted through somebody's video like 30 minutes in. He was doing it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so easy. So yeah, just put up some videos. Next week I'll probably do a review on what my first week is like, what I like about it, what I dislike, what the advantages are to DTOFs as opposed to what they are with ModuCase, and kind of just going from there and having fun with it.
That's a great idea, mate, actually. See, look, I'll be using your videos when I build mine. So it will come in handy because I'll be able to refer to what you've done because, mate, I suck at building things. So to be able to get as much assistance as possible with building something and getting it right, I will take it. So I think it's a great idea.
Then I watched videos for, the wait time. It's about a year. I've been watching videos for like 6 months. I didn't want to watch them too early, but 6 months. So I'm like, so I could kind of memorize how to put them together. Because I've heard the horror stories on, oh boy, it's a pain, and it's not too bad, but it is time consuming. So it will take you a few days probably to get everything set up, depending on what you get. Unless you get just a cube or two, that's pretty.
Yeah, easy. I think I've got. I think it's 9 or 12. I think. Oh God, it's been that long since I ordered. I actually can't remember. To be honest, I need to bloody check. Like it was supposed to come in February, so I'm like all hyped up. February comes along, I'm like, yes. I went and checked, and they're like, no, I got the bloody quarters wrong. And they're like, it's this quarter, so it's now like July. They're saying, so I'm like, oh man. In a way, I'm kind of glad because I can prepare a little bit better. This room is not prepared for the module cases. Yeah, I got to clean stuff out, and I don't know what I'm going to do with the DTOFs. So I'll probably sell them off, I guess, and because I won't have room for them once I get that in.
Did you get the 6 series? Are you getting the 6 series ones or the bigger ones?
6 series. Okay. 6 series. I'm pretty sure it's the 6 series. It's like I think 3 across and possibly 4 down. So it might be 12. I think.
You get more of like the squared cubes as opposed to the rectangular ones?
Well, no, I think it looks like yours. Like when I saw yours, I'm like that. I think that from the dimensions that I remember looking at, it looks like that. I think just one more extra row to the side. I think it is. It was in a pack. Like I got it as a pack deal or whatever.
Gotcha.
And then did like a payment plan on it because they ain't cheap. They ain't not cheap. One question I wanted to ask you on that is, so after you paid it off, did you have to pay shipping once they were ready to ship, or is it already paid off in what you paid originally paid?
They must just kind of put the shipping into the final cost because I didn't pay anything for shipping. So that was nice. Cool. They didn't hit you over the head with that.
Yeah. I was thinking that, but then someone mentioned to me you got to watch out for shipping. And I thought, hang on, I actually thought that was included. So it's good to know. I haven't gone back and checked.
Yeah, if you had to pay for shipping on these, you'd probably be broke. I mean, you're getting huge. I got 8 huge boxes. I think the total weight was 255 pounds. Jesus. So it's you'd be dead.
How heavy are they? Are they quite heavy? Like each box?
Not really.
Once you've built them?
Even when I built them and I had them all stacked, they were empty, but I could still slide it because I had to get behind, for wiring and stuff. So it's not too bad.
Cool. And the wiring and the lighting, you got the LED strips with it?
I did.
Did you get it? Yeah.
Yeah, I got the strips just because I feel like they have more of an even lighting, whereas the spotlights, I feel like there's going to be dark spots with the spotlights. So
yeah, I like seeing how lit up it is in the background there. It's lit up really nicely, and that's just the standard lights that come with it. So that's awesome.
Yep. Yeah, and those are the cool lights. So those aren't the warm.
Yeah, I got cool. I went with cool too. I prefer cool over warm.
It's just too yellow. If you get the warm, so I just can't. But
yeah, and especially the way it reflects off some figures. I think the cool light looks just a lot. Personally, I think it's just a lot cleaner. And yours is a black background, right?
Yep.
So it's a black background in there. Yeah. Nice.
One of the things that I'm noticing right away, though, is the bottom shelves are really limited on viewing angles. Because with DTOFs, you're kind of used to everything being transparent, and you can at least see through the glass. Yeah. And here, you're just like my turtles. You probably can't see them. They're right here.
I saw the picture.
Those are my quarter scale. They barely fit, but even still, when you're standing, you can't see their heads. So, but if you're on the couch or something, so it's just kind of one of those give and take things. But outside of that, I mean, they're pretty awesome. So
nice. What I'm thinking of trying, and I actually don't know if it'll work yet, is I've got a big cabinet that is along the ground. I was thinking if it'll fit, and I think it will because I did the measurements, is having them sit on top of that. I've just got which means like the bottom shelf would be probably where, like looking at yours would be where your second shelf would be my bottom shelf. hopefully, if all goes to plan. If that doesn't work, then I'll just get rid of the cabinet and just rock with it that way. But if that works, I'll be able to sit them on top of there. Hopefully it'll hold.
I was going to
I'm thinking of documenting it too, because it's going to be a laugh watching me trying to bloody build something.
I kind of documented it too, like the before, like the last day of having the DTOFs up, and then when I was halfway through, and then I might film something just kind of getting to the other end, and maybe have like almost like a journal about it that I'm just going to post. But we'll see. But yeah, it was quite the undertaking. I have a guy that messaged me on Instagram that wants to buy at least some of my DTOFs, so hopefully he's only like 2 hours away, so hopefully he can come.
Oh wow.
Next week or two, so I can get him out of my basement. But yeah,
nice. Yeah,
I had
it's going to be a process.
Yes, and I had a riser. I made my own riser for my DTOFs to get them off the ground. And I was thinking maybe just having 3 rows and having the riser on the bottom still, but I don't know. I tried it; it just didn't look good. So I'm just like, we'll go with all 4. But you kind of sacrifice some viewing, so it is what it is.
Yeah, that's something I got to, I think, take into consideration too. I think because at the minute, like the thing that I have that I'm thinking of putting it on, it might be a bit of an eyesore depending on how. Because I think I might change the setup of the room and how I film some things once I get it too. That's probably going to be something like I play with, and that's something I think that us as collectors, when like, have you noticed like when you got into collecting, you get more into things like this, like how you set up a room, and how you like the filming and all the stuff that comes with doing YouTube. Like it just opened my interests for how I view a room or a setup, or it got me thinking about things I was never into thinking about stuff like that before until I got into collecting. It's just opened up all these different avenues of design, I guess.
It's like your collection room is almost like a character in your YouTube channel, like you're always thinking of ways to change it, and I don't know, it's just kind of like got its own identity in your channel. So I mean, because maybe not for everybody, but I use my stuff as like a backdrop, even when doing videos that have myself in it, or when I'm doing reviews. Display is always in the background, so just to kind of give it my own look, instead of all black or all white or whatnot. But I definitely, and it's always something that you're never satisfied with, because like for me, I don't like clutter, but I want to keep collecting. So it's like, how do I and my wife is like, it looks bad down here. Like, you got to do something. I'm like, I think it looks pretty good. Like,
why is she hating? This?
It's like, you got to have something on every wall. I'm like, well,
space is a thing. Space is a thing, yo. Yeah, I feel that. Like me, like I'm stuck in this spot I have here is in between 2 cabinets, and that's the only spot I've got to really film at the minute. So it's kind of just become my workspace out of necessity more so than choice. So I'm looking forward to having the choice of being able to maneuver and make something of the room, because it's like a landmine, especially like after we do some of these live shows of filming and getting figures out. Like, this room is a bomb site. There's stuff everywhere, accessories everywhere, figures everywhere. I've literally got to watch where I'm walking so I don't bloody knock something over. But I guess so while we're at it, we might as well talk about getting started. I just thought I'd say hello to Universal Key. Thanks for being here, brother, and Joe as well in the chat. If you guys do rock up in the chat, don't hesitate to stop in and say hello, because that's what we want to encourage here. Everybody getting along, chatting, talking to each other, all that type of stuff. Now for today, I've brought along Classic Suit Spidey to use, just because I've been playing with him for the last 2-3 weeks. Just making this video that I've been doing, and I thought there's a couple more poses I wanted to try that I didn't do for my video, so I thought I might try them today as part of our show, and then I'll finish up with what I'll put him in on the shelf on. But let us know about what figure you bought. So it looks like Obi-Wan, is that right? Or we go on the Dark Knight, because I'm loving that Dark Knight there.
This is my Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan. That
nice.
I had a few figures that were kind of still in boxes that I was putting into the cases today. One was Endgame Hulk, another was the Flash, but the Hulk for sure isn't very posable. So I definitely want to go with something that I wouldn't like be angry at when I'm posing, and trying to get the joints to go and everything. So I thought this guy's all cloth. He should be fun to pose, so we'll kind of see if he is or isn't.
I think you will. Are you excited about the show that's coming out?
I am, but
I'm gonna say it would be, right?
I mean, I'd be lying if I said there wasn't like 5% hesitancy just because of Book of Boba Fett, which wasn't the worst, but
Yeah.
I mean, it was just odd. It was odd.
Yeah, it was a bit strange. It was a bit strange. I think, I think I always look at things. I'm People sometimes tease me about loving everything, because I generally will find something that I love about the show. I'm pretty optimistic about it. I love Ewan McGregor. He's a great actor.
Oh yeah.
And there's a lot of other good actors in there too. So I'm looking forward to seeing, what they put together and where it's going to go, I guess, right? That's the real question, because I think it's what, 6 episodes. It'll be interesting to see where that goes.
I think 6. And I know everybody's hyped up about Darth Vader, but I just want to caution everybody to, like, we barely got him in Rogue One. I just think they don't want to show too much Vader's, but I don't know. Then again, they do have Anakin, or they have Christian Hayden coming back, so maybe. But I'm just worried, like, we're not going to see enough Vader, like maybe just the last episode or something. So I'm hoping, because I'd be one of the fans that just wants a Vader movie. Just show me Vader kicking everybody's butt. But I think they're worried that would, like, kind of ruin the majestic feel of Vader, or like the I don't know, just maybe some of the lore about him. So I'm just a little concerned about that. But Ewan McGregor, I actually really liked too in the prequels, because I just thought he did a really good job. Like, I grew up with the OG Star Wars, but Obi-Wan was never a big fan of mine. Like, he didn't do much. So I was deciding, like, do I want the old Anakin, or do I want the Ewan McGregor not Anakin, Obi-Wan? And I decided to pull the trigger on this one. So I think it looks pretty good. Really nice head sculpt.
Yeah, nice. I think they're definitely going to release another one too. So I'm sure that one's going. If the show's a hit and they drop that, he's going to be well sought after, I reckon. Especially the older look, because they're so good at doing the older look faces, right?
Right.
I think he'd look sick. But I'm excited. I'm excited about everything that's coming out this year. I can't wait just to see where it goes. It gives us something to talk about too, and something to collect, and chances of new figures and new things. And
that's right.
There's a lot going on in the collecting world right now. That is for sure. That is for sure. Well, look, so just to run you through again how the show will work. So we'll go through 3 poses. The first one is the standard, just a what's the word? A character pose, which is one of the words we kind of use these days. Something that reminds you of the character. So nothing crazy. I'll put a banner down the bottom when we're doing it, just so if people are tuning in, they know what we're doing. Where we'll just put them in something that reminds you of the character that you'd be comfortable with putting them in on the shelf. The second one, we have a bit of fun, get a little dynamic, and try and do something crazy. And then the third one is kind of how you put it back on the shelf and how you normally display it. So in essence, it's kind of, you can bust out 2 museum-esque poses. You don't need to worry about doing anything to damage them. But do you, one question I wanted to ask you is, do you generally like fiddle with them a lot? Do you pose them up quite a bit, or is it more you get them, you review them, you put them in the shelf, and how often would you change your poses and stuff like that?
I think it depends. It depends on the figure and how posable it is, but it also depends on if I'm really in love with the pose, or if I just feel like I also can't get it right. Obviously, too, I'm big on like Facebook groups, Reddit, and if like most of my poses come from other people, like I'm like, oh, that looks really cool. I think I want to try that too, or I could make that work. So I think it depends. There are some figures that I pose more often than others. There's some that I barely ever touch. Harley Quinn would be one that I barely ever touch, because I just got her in a great pose, and it's the iconic pose that I love. But no, I mean, I'd say every few months, maybe, or to every, like, a handful of months, probably every like 8 months or so. It depends. But I am more of like museum pose. I try to go with, but when we say museum, I'm not trying to go like this. I'm trying to just get them into like you say, like a character pose, something that shows them being lifelike, simple yet effective, I guess is what I go for.
Yeah, like for me, this is something that I would call a character pose. He's just chilling on his phone. He's looking at his phone,
but he doesn't look stiff.
Yeah, he's doing something. His probably legs are a little bit wide now that I look at it on camera, but I'd put him in that because I'm like, well, I'm going to change it in a second anyway. So we'll do something.
And some of the some of the figures, the outfits scare me because first and foremost, I collect for the real factor, and then posing is second nature. So if like a Spider-Man or even some of the Batman ones, I'm a little bit more careful just because I do want them to last, where some collectors are like, oh, I don't care, I got it, and adds character or whatever, which is fine. But for me, I don't know, I just always want them to be kind of in pristine shape. So I'm careful with some of those certain figures.
Yeah, and I think that's a fair point. And I think a lot of people feel that way. I still feel like that too, but I guess, more on the side that I like to. I kind of like to use them to make stuff with. In a way, that's kind of my thing. I like to make videos and the making and like doing photography, and it started all with photography for me. So I kind of like. I'm willing to take that risk a little bit more. While still trying to be as cautious as I can. Luckily, to this day, everything's still pretty good. I've had a few little, scratches or bumps in the past. One being when I used to try and put them up in front of a TV screen and put a background and take photos of them, and it fell off the bloody TV once, which was a bit scary. So I don't do that anymore. It's all like on the table. But I completely get that. Because we all collect for different reasons. I love the realism, but I also like to tell stories, and I think that's probably more of what I'm into than just having them. Like I said, as they're not doing anything fancy on the shelf right now, they're literally just there to hold it until I play with it again, I guess, in another way. But look, hey, let's start moving them around. So we might
Sounds good.
Moving and talking.
Mine is used, so hopefully everything checks out here.
You're about to find out, brother. You're about to find out. Now, I know how I put character pose there. I want to try. The reason why I'm trying something, maybe this is a little bit more dynamic, my character pose for this one, because I just want to see if I can do it. Is more of like when Spidey's in like a crouching pose. So it's still not a dynamic pose, but on the figure, it's actually dynamic because it's quite risky to put him in a crouching pose because you're bending the knees and all that type of stuff. So I want to try that, and I'm going to use this rock base to do that with, just to see, because I didn't do it for my video, and I want to see if I can actually get into being in like a crouching position. I just watched No Way Home again for like the third or fourth time, possibly, and I'm like, when they all land on the monument, like at the end when they all land together, and I'm like, man, I should have done a crouching pose with this guy. So I'm like, all right, I'll try it Saturday. I'll try it Saturday to see if I can do it. So this will be my character pose, essentially. And then once we get started, so one of the questions I like to ask, mate, is I guess, and answer it how you like, but when did you get into collecting, I guess, and what was it that got you into it?
Oh, that's a good question. So I've always been a big fan of Batman, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
nice,
Star Wars. I kind of grew up on that stuff, and I always had the toys. And
me too.
I kind of started with Funko Pops. They were kind of like the gateway to Hot Toys.
Okay.
Because it was like that nostalgia feeling, like I can collect kind of like figures again, or things that I had in my childhood. And I started this YouTube channel, and it was more so like Funko Pops, NECA figures, movies, and I didn't have any Hot Toys yet. But then I finally took the plunge when COVID hit in 2020, and I never looked back. So I mean, I've been collecting for a while, but I think with guys too, sometimes our hobbies change quite a bit. So like, I used my Funko collection to kind of fund the beginning of this collection.
Okay. That's a great way to do it, because if you're getting out of it or you're not into it anymore,
right.
Use it to fund other things. I think that's a great way to do it, especially if you don't have an attachment to it anymore.
Right.
So like, when did you get into funk? So, I mean, you were collecting the toys and stuff. So like, is that something that you were mindful of when you were younger, that you enjoyed having the things around? Or is it when you got into Funko Pops, you're like, hey, I want to have a representation of what I love?
I think it was mostly like when I started collecting Funko Pops in 2016, 2017. And then I kind of wanted to have like a representation of things I grew up with and things that had meaning to me. And I don't know. I don't even know where I saw the first Hot Toys figure, but I think I was probably like, just searching on YouTube on like different toys or something. And I saw, I'm like, oh my gosh, they look so real. I'm like, look at like the Joker, the DX8 was like one of the first ones I saw. I'm like, I cannot believe that.
Yeah.
But then I saw like the price and whatnot, and
that can be
holy
confronting.
Cow. Yeah.
Yeah, that can be. When I first saw the prices after I got my first one, I went online and started looking at prices. I was like, oh geez, I can't afford to do this. That was literally like one of my first initial thoughts when I got into it. I'm like, oh man. And even like the first couple of years, I was kind of like that. I got like one, and then I got like another couple, and then I didn't get any for like a few years. I just had those. I literally just had Optimus Prime, Mark 43 Iron Man, the Winter Soldier Captain Americas, and then the the Wolverine. That was it. And I had that for like, I had them for like up until before COVID. Just like yourself, COVID hit, and then something happened, and now we're here. Pretty much. So when COVID hit, like what was it like? So you were doing the channel for Funko Pops, is that right?
Yeah, I kind of just started with NECA and Funko, and and then I just kind of dove into some well, I think I got Batman, the BVS Batman was my first figure, but my first review was the 3-0 Jon Snow.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, just kind of a little, if it started with Funko, and then it was like, oh, let's mix in some Hot Toys and maybe some NECA, and then it just kind of naturally turned all the way to Hot Toys, where it just kind of became the passion and what I liked the most. So I mean, I've ranked my Star Wars favorite movies, in the earlier days of the channel. Reviewed the Batman trailer, which seems so long ago now.
Yeah, right.
But stuff like that's just always kind of been my passion. I'm a big football fan too.
Oh, okay. Who do you go for?
Green Bay Packers.
Okay. I'm a Baltimore Ravens man myself. I've been a Ravens fan since they first moved back to Baltimore from Cleveland.
Nice.
Well, I've been watching for many, many, many years.
And I've always been a fan, and they're the hometown team. But the basement used to all be like Packers stuff. And then you just kind of find like these guys are real humans that make mistakes, or they go to different teams, or they don't, maybe they start well and they don't end well. And you're kind of like let down, where I'm like, well, these superheroes and stuff, like they've always meant something to me, and they don't really change. They're not real. So that, they're kind of like that higher up character. So
yeah, that's right. I'm glad that you said that, because that's how that's kind of how I started to feel about athletes and things like that. Like over here, Australian football is really popular. Like our Aussie Rules. I don't know if you've seen much of Aussie Rules, but like it's very popular, and people live or die, as I'm sure they do with the NFL. Well, as I know they do with the NFL, on how their teams do. And like you just hear stories and you see these guys, and the things that they do, and I'm like, yeah, they're not really someone I want to be cheering on necessarily to that degree. Right. For me, it's always, I'm a film buff. I love my films, movies, characters, and what they embody, I guess. And for me, when I started thinking about it, these are like the conduits of the stories and the characters and the things that we like and we look up to. So for me, having them in your collection is the same as having a art print or a book or whatever to remember them from. This is just for me more fun, because I get to play with them. And for us who do like content, actually we get to create and be a part of these things, you know what I mean, in our own way. Like I'm not going to work for Marvel or anything like that, but I get to do stuff with their characters, which I think is sick. I love that. And so I think that's one of the big reasons why I went so deep into wanting to get into YouTube and all that type of stuff. I guess for you, when YouTube originally started, like what made you get into it at all? Like like what was the thing that you're like, I'm going to do a YouTube channel? Like, you know, is it always something you've thought about, or did someone inspire you? Like, what was it?
So that's a good question. So I started the Jedi Knights watch March of 2020.
Yeah.
But before that, my good buddy and I, we actually had a Scotch and whiskey channel, or Scotch whiskey and cigars channel.
Sick.
I've always been kind of like an old soul like that, where I just kind of enjoy, a dram of whiskey and then a cigar to puff on. And we did that for 3 years. And I think part of it was I've been in photography a little bit too. I did it on the side. I enjoy, creating stuff like this. So I wanted to create, but then I also wanted to kind of get into the community. But what I found with cigars and whiskey is that there's a lot of people that'll stick their nose up at you if you're not like 100%
really
knowledgeable. If you're amateur, it's no good. You got to know your stuff, or you shouldn't be talking about it. So I kind of got turned off about that, and got busy, had kids, stuff like that, and then all of a sudden, I was into Funko Pops at the same time. We actually started the channel in 2017, and it was cigars, whiskey, and Funko Pops. But we knew like the Funko Pops, they don't fit. Like it's not the right, it's not getting those. We can't gravitate with teens or whatever, and then adults with cigars and whiskey. So we kicked it out, and then we just kind of lost our steam and stopped doing the videos. And then I was like, well, I kind of want to get back into it. I miss it. And got into this community, and I've just found that everybody's been so much nicer. Like they don't really judge you, at least to the extent that the other community did. So, so I like creating. I like interacting with people. I don't have any friends that are into this stuff. So like you and everybody else that I interact with are my friends. So I'm just kind of thankful for, technology that we're able to do this on the opposite ends of the world, so to say, and
literally
enjoy this together.
Literally, brother, like legit, like that's one of the things I love about it. Like I get to connect, get to learn about you. You're a dad, you get the same issues with your kids as I do, like there's all the things that we all have so similar, yet we'll never probably see each other in the physical form in real life. And like that just blew my mind,
right?
When I started getting into it. I never really thought about, like, up until COVID hit, I hadn't thought about doing anything online or on YouTube. I used to do music back in the day, and I used to did a bit of acting in college and stuff like that. I always liked arts and creating and writing and things like just making stuff, doing things. I think that's for me what I think I like about YouTube is you're getting to make things and put yourself out there, and getting to meet people who also like to do that is sick. And then all the people we meet in the chat and the Facebook groups and the community is just, it's crazy how I think as much as it's grown as well in the last couple of years, it's freaking exploded.
Oh yeah.
Like to a massive extent. So I think for me, YouTube has become this thing that I'm like, oh wow, this is like, how did I not see this for so long? How did I not like get into it? It's so cool to know that you were like into it but doing other things, and then you just switched lanes and went into, would you say this is more of a passion than what the whiskey thing was? Or like...
I think so, just because you can only do that in moderation, like, so I don't want to drink whiskey every night or, stuff like that. So like this, I can enjoy like all the time. Whereas now, whiskey and cigars are occasions where maybe I hang out with some guys or, just once in a while, where this, I feel like I can just, every time my office is right here and I work some from home, some in the field. So like, it's right here for me to enjoy. And
that's cool. So
I think that's just cool.
You get to work from home as well. That's awesome.
Yeah, a little bit. So
nice. That is cool. I don't have that. I wish I had that. That'd be awesome. One day, maybe getting to work from. I know. I'm sure there's probably pitfalls as well with working at home.
There is.
Yes, I'm sure there is. But I'd like to find them out. I'd like to see
make your own judgment about it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll make my own judgment. I'd love to. But look, I think I'm done with the first one that I wanted to try. It looks like you've got yours.
Yeah, mine's super simple, but it's kind of the pose that I think of Obi-Wan in a lot.
I'll solo you. Hang on, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, I think that's
so
a classic.
Just the hands on the hips. I'm struggling a little bit with the shoulders just to kind of make them not bunch, but it's kind of tough. But it's kind of like he's always had the hands on the hips. You can just hear what he's thinking about. Sure. Probably Anakin doing something.
Yes.
So very museum-esque, but
does his arms and everything move quite well with all that material?
Yeah, they do. It's just trying to get this to sit right is a little
wires
tougher than I thought it would be.
It's just material.
Correct.
Just material, no wires.
Okay.
Nope. Yeah, because I don't have him. I would bet that the new one, when they do it, will have wires in a robe at some degree. It seems like they're doing that a lot more now, putting wires in capes and things like that. I think the quarter scale is that the quarter scale Batman you have in the background there?
Yep.
Just on your desk.
Yeah.
That's sick. I'm getting the new one that's that they've because I missed the boat with all the Dark Knight stuff. I missed everything. So for me, it's playing catch up.
Yeah,
that is sick.
I couldn't wait. Outside of my NECA Turtles, he's my first quarter scale.
Let me solo you again. Damn, that is sick. The presence.
Yeah, just from every angle. I mean, he looks great. This does have a custom cape, so it's not the one that came with it. So it does. It's like more of a velvet, and it flows a little bit better.
Oh wow, nice. Where'd you pick that one up?
eBay.
The cape. Oh,
nice. Yeah, it was all together. So I'm like, and it was the cheapest one I could find. So.
Wow.
And I did just get the quarter scale Joker, which obviously isn't as good, but still excited to have it.
Okay. Are you going to do a video on that or?
There's a lot of stuff I was going to do videos on. And then the Maju case is like just dropped. And now it's like, wow, I got to do this video. I got to do this video. This video. So I do want to review it. It's still in the box. So, but I got like a Stormtrooper Black Series helmet like a while ago that I wanted to review, and that just never happened. So we'll see.
Yeah. So I guess with that then, before I show the guys my pose, before we move on, hey guys, we've got S-Beam in the house now as well. Hold my balls. Come on, bro. I love that name. I'm going to bring that up on the screen. Hold my balls. I saw you the other day. That's pretty. That's a cool name. Hold my basketballs, or what balls are we talking about? We got Word Nerd as well. Hey, what's up? Philip the Fool's just joined us as well. Thanks, guys. We got some more people rolling in now, so thanks for tuning in, guys. Appreciate it. I guess with that, then when it comes to filming, actually, before we do, hang on.
Address that.
S-Beam. I got to address that because S-Beam, bro. Today is the first day I'm officially like, what's the word? Freaking monetized.
Monetized.
Would be the word.
Congrats.
Finally got monetized. So I got the subscribers before I got the watch hours, funnily enough. So today is the first day. So S-Beam, brother, I owe
first.
You. You are the first man, and I really appreciate that, brother. You are too kind. I think he's taking pity on me for getting my ass kicked in Pose Wars. And I'm not dodging. I was meant to be on the last episode. I'm not dodging. It's just when it's on Sundays at 12 p.m. my time. And that's like the last time my dad needed help, so I went and did stuff with my dad. It's just hard with, as you know, Graham, with family at 12 o'clock in the middle of the day on the weekend is tough.
And that's what sucks too, because like I like to have people on my show. And then they're like, oh yeah, I got to have you on mine too. Everybody wants, and then everybody's talking about it, but then you're like,
yeah,
my time is just so limited that unless it's after my kids go to bed, sometimes I just like maybe once a week I go on like Man of Hot Collectibles, before they go to bed. But then it's like, if I'm doing 2 a week, I start to get into some trouble. So that's why, like, you were asking me, I'm like, so I do really appreciate you kind of working with my time. Cause
hey, it's all good.
That's awesome. So
it's all good, mate. Look, my wife's really supportive and she helps. Like for me, the good thing about being on the other side of the world is your nighttime is my morning time, and my morning time is when I do a lot of stuff because I'm up at 5 a.m. Like today, unfortunately, I woke up at like 4:30 a.m. and couldn't go back to sleep. So a lot of the time I'll stream in the morning while they're asleep, so I get to kind of dodge that bullet,
right?
Because of a nighttime, like I'm passing out by 9 p.m. so morning time is kind of my jam. So it kind of worked well that way. It's just I always messing up the freaking time zones, and I've added all the states to my world clock too, and I still make mistakes. So I'm like, what's the time for you again? Where is it? Can't remember. Jesus. But so today, like, luckily my wife took my little one out. They've gone to see the family to give us some time to chat, which is good. So all good, brother. But SB, mate, appreciate you, brother. Really do. Any support I get is awesome. I wasn't sure if it was actually active for this because it said it still wasn't when I was on the content page. So yeah, loving it. Appreciate it, brother. Now I've forgotten what I was going to say.
You got to go looking at your pose here.
Oh yeah, all right, let's do it. Let's show the pose. So I wanted to do Spidey in a crouching way, and I'm kind of cheating a bit because I didn't want to bend him too much. But if you're going to have it on the shelf, right, you're not going to see it from 360 degrees. You're going to see it from probably maybe that angle, you know. And that's something I talk about a lot in my videos is what angle you're going to see it from. So here I've just got his knee here, and I've got his foot off the base. Generally, when I'm posing, I get real weird in my head where I'm like, it doesn't look right if the foot's not on the base, like it's not part of it. I don't know, it's just something wrong with me and how I think like that. But for the purpose of this, if you're going to see him, he's probably bending back a little bit too much. If I was to kind of crunch him forward a bit and not break his hand off, let's see. I wonder if I should just drop him so I can get that out of the way, and so I can move on. But see how crunching him completely changes it, and that doesn't work either. But luckily, this Spidey, I think you do have to bend it back. I kind of wanted to copy a pose of him. Now I'm just completely butchering it while I'm on full screen. Pose of I should have just left it. Jesus Christ.
See, take no risks and you're never going to fail.
That's right. But I actually think this guy doesn't crouch as well as the Tom Holland Spider-Man. I think his torso's a bit long. And I could probably push
too, right?
He's thicker, yeah. He's got some muscle tone. He's definitely a bit thicker. But for the sake, if I was going to have it on the shelf, I might like display it from like that angle, or I might twist him a little bit more, get his head looking down maybe a little bit more, like he's looking down. Maybe his arms feel longer too, which I don't know if they are, but they definitely feel a bit longer. If I was to bring his arm back, maybe a bit like that, like he's winding up or something like that. But like I don't know about you, Graham, but I like to use diorama bases a lot.
Oh yeah.
To just try and sell a look or sell a pose, or even just to have it to interact with. So that's kind of my first dynamic one. I gave it a try. It kind of works, maybe from that angle. But I think I could do better if I put a bit more effort into that. So I'll get rid of that. But what I remember now, I wanted to ask you. So when it comes to creating content, and you've got all these videos you're saying you want to make, do you write like a list of things you want to do? Or do you kind of just do it as it comes? Like, are you planning ahead, or are you like trying to catch up on things? Like, what's your process like?
Yeah, so I have like a Word document for like ideas for videos, upcoming videos that I kind of have in the back of my pocket in case like I have a week or a few weeks where I don't have anything to do. But then as I'm getting figures too, typically I won't unbox them until I review them, unless I just decide this isn't something I want to review. Then I'll just get it out and play with it, put it on the shelf. Yeah. So a little bit of the list, and then a little bit of just boxes sitting here waiting to be reviewed. And I do a live stream every Monday. So every week, depending on what news happens, kind of just update that same live stream agenda, and then whatever changes. And, whatever topics I want to talk about, I kind of just put in there as well. So
yeah, for sure.
How about you?
Well, I'm kind of so at the minute I've got videos that I want to go back and make on figures that I've had for a while. So I've kind of stepped away from the reviewing side. I think what I'm probably going to do more, I started off trying to review because, trying to find my feet. I'm like, what do I want to do? I want to do something. I want to review things. So I have done reviews, but as I was doing them, I would add poses at the end. So I have like a Captain America, the Endgame cap video that I did, which is like, I'm really proud of, where I did the review, but then I also did a shit ton of poses at the end. And I think I started falling in love with trying to create scenes and poses, and I love putting music to it. So I bought into this program where I can get licensed songs and add, so I'm spending money on that to add music to the videos, because I really like I just like watching poses on the turntable. I don't know, like when I would watch other reviewers, I would always enjoy the poses the most, or thinking about what ideas can I get to do my own stuff. And as I've just progressed, I've kind of gone down to, like with this guy, I've got 12 poses in this video, which I'm hopefully going to drop after this if it's finished processing. If not, I'll probably drop it tomorrow. I like creating like showcases now on the character and why I like the character, because I only collect what I like. I don't buy things to review and then sell off or anything. I haven't sold anything. Everything I've bought I keep, and I'm not into the price game or any of that. I'm just not into that. I get it if I want it, and if I want it, I'm going to, maybe do a video on it. So I've got videos I want to make, but I do have the quarter scale Mando coming in, hopefully in the start of April. And what I'm probably going to do, I can't wait, man. I love Mando. Is I'll do a live unboxing. I think that's what I'm going to do now. More live unboxings, chat with the group, do the live stream, chat to people. I've generally been doing it with KG. He hops on with me and he helps, like we chat and we just have a fun time. We did that with this guy. And so I feel like, because if I do a live unboxing, I don't feel like I need to go and review it. There's plenty of other people you can get that off. Whereas I'll do a showcase and talk about posing options, posing ideas, the limitations, what you can do with them, and just try and create. It's kind of like trying to create artwork with it, I guess. Trying to create something that you could go back and watch a few times. You know what I mean? Like you can go and watch it to enjoy it as a thing to watch, as opposed to like review the piece, I guess. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do. And so I feel like I could do anything. Like I've got a Thor video I want to do. I want to do Infinity War Thor and Endgame Thor together, and I'll do like a 10-scene showcase of them back to back battling with things and create some stories and stuff like that, I guess. Yeah, so it's kind of more my thing.
And that's kind of what you got to do with YouTube is, on one hand, if people like you, they're going to watch you. But then on the other, if you're just like everybody else, you're not going to grow and they're not going to watch you. So you got to kind of find your niche and what makes you different. Like you said, you're kind of been cooling on the reviews a little bit. I was too, because everybody's done them before. Like I was doing some flashback reviews as well, just to kind of, for people to see these older figures in HD or, kind of an updated review. And like you, I try to do like minimum 4, but usually 4 to 5 poses at the end of the video. Just because you want to give them, some quality, something to watch, maybe an idea to pose their figures in, because they could go to somebody else's channel and see the same exact review, because it really is what it is. So I've been kind of doing like more of like, I've been trying to do like tips and tricks, or I've done some even like customizations on like pleather and how to fix peeling pleather.
That's
cool. Even the module cases, just something a little bit different, just to kind of keep it fresh too. But then going back to reviews and keep doing those too. But I think what you do is really great, because the poses you get them in are so awesome, and you like you said, you get 10 to 12. Like you can just watch it and say like, oh, what do I want to do? What kind of pose? Oh, I like that one. I can do that. And I think that's where a lot of value is too, because no matter what, we like to change up our poses, even if it does take a year for us to do it. We do get sick of it. So I think you're onto something good, and I enjoy the content you make. So I just keep going with it.
Appreciate it, brother. I also feel like sometimes, like if someone doesn't want to pose them, they can watch the video to enjoy what they look like in other poses without having to risk damaging theirs in another way. Like I'm kind of,
or people like me can watch and be jealous of the poses that you get them into, and I just can't get it to look like that.
No. Well, I think people would be scared of how much time I spend playing. I think it's more just I've been playing a lot. I just noticed here, S-Beam is saying that he hopes Hot Toys moves towards more dynamic bases. I think they are, mate. I mean, what do you think? Because if you think about like the new Spidey figures coming out, they're dynamic bases.
Yeah.
The classic suit Spider-Mans, and I touch on this in the video, you can do some crazy stuff with that base, mate. Like the options it gives you, just having that tail, even without having another figure. Like I kept trying to think, okay, what can I do with this tail? Like how can I have him interacting with it? Like, and it just having something extra or something simple as just a rock base. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that, what is it? They did like the quarter scale bases, for instance. I love using quarter scale bases for the 6 scale figures, because there's more of a bigger platform to play with. And I already know what I'm going to do with quarter scale Mando. When I get him, I'm going to be having my 6 scale Mandos like doing like I'm going to create some stuff with them using that, and like as well as the quarter scale, and that's the type of stuff that I get.
I really like what you did with the Thanos base too, where you used it for DC and just had all three Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman on there too. But I think as it pertains to Hot Toys, I think they have to, just because they're competing with statues, so they're quarter scale. They're making more quarter scale. The quarter scales all have these awesome bases. Even like you said, the 6 scale, they're getting more towards diorama bases.
Yeah.
And for me, I want them to do that because I don't like incorporating the bases into my figures, because I think they just make them look like toys. So I really like what Queen Studios is doing too with that Joker, where they're having a magnetic base, but it's simple, but yet really, really effective, because it just, I don't know,
like elegant, isn't it?
Yeah,
it just looks elegant in a way. Like it's classy. It's a classy base.
So I hope they keep doing that. Yeah,
I think so, and I'm really looking forward to the integrated suit Spidey base with the Doc Ock tentacles. I think stuff like that is probably where we're going to see them go more. Then you look at the Batman figure. So if you look at the Batman figure that they're doing, you got a nice interactive base there. You've got oh man, who else we got? I mean, at least Battle Damage 85 has got something different. It's not the flashiest base, but it's it's a bit of ground or whatever. What do we got here? So JLam97, love both our channels. You're an absolute legend. Appreciate it, brother.
Thank you.
He's also asking us, what's your favorite Hot Toys figure?
It's like asking, what's my favorite food?
Yeah, it's a tough one. What day is it? How do I feel today?
I'll let you go first, John. You can go first, and I'll.
Oh man, my favorite. Man, it's so hard to do, like, because I love all of them.
You want to do how about favorite in the franchise, like Star Wars, Marvel, and DC?
Yeah, okay. Well, Star Wars for me is Mando. Definitely, I'm a fiend for Mando. I do love him. If I was gonna say, for me, it would be which Spider-Man figure and which Iron Man figure, and like Batman. It's BVS Batman. I love that suit. I love that, just that look and that figure. But I guess my favorite Spidey right now is probably still the red and black suit, the upgraded suit, because I just love red and black. I mean, I'm always wearing red shirts, right? Because I love red. As much as I love this red and blue look, I love the red and black suit, Spidey. What about you?
So for Star Wars, it's going to be the Rogue One Vader. I've been in love with that figure ever since I got it, and I had the Empire Strikes Back Vader first. To me, this one puts that one to shame. People don't agree with me, but I just think he looks way more menacing. He's more posable. So second would be, I think, the Emperor. I just love how that looks. I actually have the throne plugged in hardwired, so that's always on.
Nice.
For DC, I think it's going to be BVS Batman. That was my first ever hot toy, and it holds a special place in my heart.
Ooh, nice. My man.
My second favorite in DC, you notice I'm going second and third favorite here because I can't pick, is the Joker DX8. That figure is just so awesome.
Wow.
And Marvel's a little tougher because Star Wars is my favorite franchise. Batman's my favorite superhero. Marvel I enjoy a lot, but I just started getting into Marvel more so in the last few years. So
probably. It's so tough. It's so tough to answer these questions sometimes.
I would say, to be honest, I really like the Teenage Groot.
Nice.
But I also really like the Black Panther, the Civil War Black Panther.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He's cool. See, I missed out on him. Oh, man, I also missed out on Killmonger. JLM as well. Let us know in the chat. What's your favorite? I want to know what's your favorite, man. Give us yours, because I'd be interested to know where we land on that. And everybody else in the chat, what's yours? Put yours in the chat. I'd love to know. Oh, he's put it in there. Mine is the Deluxe Mando. Okay. Boom. Fair play. Hey, I love me some Mando. I'll have all the Mandos.
You're getting the chrome?
Yeah. I'm a fiend. I'm I'll be selling myself on the street for whatever Mando comes out next. I'm like, don't bring another one out, because I'll get it and I want to get it, and then I'll have to forget. I have to let something else go so I can get that instead, because it's Mando.
And you'll be doing that because that's their cash cow. So get ready.
Yeah. Well, mate, I'm screwed. I love Iron Man, so I'm already screwed. I love Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Even more screwed, and now Mando. Like I'm fucked. I'm terrible. I don't know. Am I allowed to swear when it's monetized? I have no idea. I'm an idiot. I have no idea. Am I going to get demonetized in my first episode?
I think maybe if you let them slide or let them go more often, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, because Joe Rogan's always swearing, and he was monetized. You know what I'm saying? Like, when he was on YouTube, anyway. Now, S-Beam's asking, are we getting the Queen Studio Joker? So I actually don't know if you are. Are you getting that?
I am. So on my stream with Riley Reviews and 16 Fix on Monday, we were talking about it, and I was very undecided. I was kind of having cold feet just because of that price point. And I do understand, like, the Joker's one of my favorite villains. Heath Ledger did an amazing job. But for the price point and getting two of the same figure, I know the head sculpt is a little different on both. But it's not like you're getting the Batman, the Nightmare Batman, and the Black Suit Superman, two different figures, and still it's at half the price. So long story short, that night I did pre-order the sculpted 2-pack just because it was kind of the middle ground, and I felt like I could afford it when it comes out eventually. So did you get it?
Nice. I did. Yeah, I ended up I went the rooted hair 2-pack. I got a distributor here actually in Australia that stocks Queens, so it made it a bit easier. Yeah, which was pretty cool. They had it up. I went on there and I was like, you know what? I missed out on all the Jokers, and Heath Ledger is from Perth, where I live.
Okay.
So there's a lot of love for Heath, and I just was not into collecting. I wasn't thinking about it back then, you know, or thought I could afford getting something like that when I did see the quarter scale Joker in the store, and it was so much over here, mate, in the store. Like, it was nearly $1,000 for that. Like,
the Hot Toys
over here. Yeah.
Wow.
Was it quarter? Yeah, bro. And so I'm just like, I'm never going to be able to get that.
I got mine.
Funnily enough,
I got mine for $400 shipped.
Wow. Yeah, no, it was way more when I saw it. This was a while back. So for me, I'm like, I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to go for it. And so I'm looking forward to it. I really am. I cannot wait, brother. And we've also got, Tyria, Insomnia at 3:30 a.m. But watching this makes it feel better, lol. I am in the minority being excited for the Batman Forever figures coming this year. Hey, I think they look great. I think the Batman looks like Val Kilmer. It looks spot on. And sorry that you can't sleep, but thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Hopefully we don't put you to sleep.
yeah. Let's not do that. Although it probably would be good for you if you can't sleep. But, you know, hopefully you feel tired after the show and you can sleep. Often studios are saying Hulkbuster. Yes, Hulkbuster is one of my favorites. I do love the old Hulkbuster. I do have the Hulkbuster. I haven't done anything with it yet video-wise, but I'm working on something when I can figure out how to actually film it the way I want to film it. So stay tuned for that. And we got the Batman. This is the Batman 13. My first was Dark Knight Batman Sonar version.
Was that the DX2, the Sonar version?
It is, yes.
Okay.
It is. Actually, I had that one, right? And that was the first giveaway I ever did. So I wanted to do a giveaway to try and grow the channel, and no toy companies would do any deals with me. So I'm like, screw it, I'm going to give away my own figure. And I gave that one away. So I gave it away, and then they released, this is before they released
12.
The 19, DX19.
Okay.
No, this was only like when they released that. So I'm like, I'll just get the DX19 now. So I'll survive. But yeah, that was all off my own back, that one. Who else we got in here? Favorite was probably Arkham Knight Batman. Okay, nice. What's S-Beams? My favorite is Yondu. Do you have Yondu?
No, I
missed the boat.
He's one of my saved searches on eBay that I keep coming back to, and I can never find something I'm willing to pay for it. I just can't pay the grail prices.
Yeah, they are high on him. Favorite Star Wars? We watched Guardians of the Galaxy 2 not long ago, and I'm like, like I'm just like, no, I can't watch this because it makes. I don't know if that happens to you. You watch it, and you get all hyped up, and like, I can't watch this. It makes me want to get it. I might drop that cash. We got GG in the house. What's up, GG? Thanks for being here. What's going on? Thanks for being here. We got a few more chats coming through, guys. What's going on? I'm not used to this. Holy crap!
Got yourself another super.
Oh, I gotta stop swearing. Holy moly! Who else we got? We'll get there. We're coming. My favorite DC is the Golden Armor Wonder Woman. That is also one of my favorites.
A really good figure.
I went down the rabbit hole of that, so much so that I bought two. I'm crazy. I bought the normal single version, then I bought the large wing version. I got the single version because it was on sale. And I'm like, I have this idea for my Moji case, Graham. When I get it, just trust me. I don't know if you've seen Norman Chan's video where he does the light up golden lasso. Have you seen that?
No.
Oh, bro, check out Norman Chan on YouTube when you get a chance. He does a video with the Golden Armor Wonder Woman where he gets an LED light up lasso and uses it to lasso Iron Man in the video, and then Thanos. It's going to make you get that figure. I'm just like initiate, enabling, go. You will get it. And then we got my brother-in-law in the house. Tan, what's up, brother? Finally late enough for me to watch. Hell yeah! Thanks for being here, brother. Absolute legend. All right, let's get to this super chat before we get on to pose number 2. Thank you so much. Hey, Word Nerd, what's up? $10 super chat. My posing game is weak. I have the Civil War Falcon on a turntable. He's up a bit with the waist grabber, but pretty sad. Any figures you've posed I can grab ideas from? With the wings, oh man. Well, Golden Armor Wonder Woman was really the only one with wings that I've posed. I don't know about you. Do you have any with wings that you've posed?
No, I have the closed wing Wonder Woman, and I don't have Falcon. So
no, I don't have Falcon, but I am getting the Sam Wilson cap when that comes out with those wings. Those wings look sick. The one from the from the recent show
series.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That piece looks spot on. I'm not really sure, mate. I don't know how much they articulate it, but what I'll do is I'll find out, and I might do a video on it. I'll try and do a video maybe on posing with wings and stuff when I can figure out how to get one with wings to do it, maybe other than Golden Armor Wonder Woman. But thanks very much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Any support for the channel is just, I don't know how to accept stuff like this. This is hard for me to accept.
I know. Things like this. You say thank you, and you're like, is that good enough? Like, I don't know what else. Like, what can I say?
I'm like, what can I do? I feel terrible. But thank you very much. I will do some content at some point to make it up to you. I really will. But let's move on, mate. Let's get on to a dynamic pose as we talk to everybody in the chat. All right. See what we can do. Now, I'm expecting like backflips with him, maybe swinging some lightsabers, chopping off Batman's head possibly there. Like, I could see you doing something crazy with him. No, I'm joking. Don't do that. Don't do that. What I will say with posing your Spider-Man and worrying about the suit, guys, is always when you take it out of the pose, just massage the suit a little bit as you're doing it, like around the creases and the hips and things, because you'll be surprised how it works wonders with like the suit not creasing or not having those constant stretch marks. And I will say, Graham, this Spider-Man, the suit is it feels like a little looser, so it's more giving. So it's not like so tight. So when you do put him in dynamic poses, it seems like he bounces back pretty quickly. If anybody else in the chat has it, can you weigh in on that? Because I feel like that's the case. It feels a bit looser, like around the legs and the hips and things like that.
So the upgraded suit is the only Spider-Man that I currently have. I've had the homemade suit, which was great for posing, but I had to limit, my figures to get more. But that Spider-Man, the classic suit, is one that I would really love to have. So that might come home with me once it's at Sideshow.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I think you won't be disappointed. Just thinking about the wing pose, it's on my mind now. What you could do is look at some comic book pictures, or type in statues, because there are statues. That's where I get a lot of inspiration from. Look at pictures of statues, see how they've got the wings, and then you can kind of build off, like try and see if you can recreate a look off a statue or a comic book, and just see if the figure will get to that point. And then think about angles and how you have it sitting on the flight pole. If you think about angles, you can have it maybe edging forward a little bit, things like that. That can create a different type of look when you're posing. I'll actually try and do something like that now with this Spidey. Do you have something in mind that you're going to do? Like, did you think about what poses you were going to do, or are you just kind of freestyling?
Oh, no, I thought about it. I didn't want to make myself look stupider than I had to.
Oh, bro, no way. No way. Don't worry about that.
I'm very much a planner, so I don't like winging anything.
Nice. Well, it might drive you crazy then that when we go in to take a position live, sometimes I have no idea what I'm doing. Legit. It's been evident in some shows where I'm just like, I have no idea what to do. I'm terrible like that. Where are we? Let's see. What else we got? S-Beam, brother. Thank you. Jeez. Thank you so much. What's your most anticipated figure? Well, Graham, what's yours, brother? What are you most anticipating right now?
It was Peacemaker, but after seeing that travesty of a figure, it goes back to the Batman, which was pretty close intent. I think the only reason it was Peacemaker is because I do have Batman. I wanted that Peacemaker to add to the collection something different.
Yeah.
But now it's the Batman. I'm all aboard. That figure looks awesome. Can't wait.
It does. It does. And I love the movie.
Oh, it was great. I want to see it again.
So do I. So do I, mate. As I don't know if it's the same for you, but trying to go to the movies when you got a little one,
is
tough.
Got to skip out of work sometime.
Yes, that is sometimes that's sometimes what you got to do. But one day I will get to see it again. Hopefully, like the good thing these days is movies come back out at the cinemas a bit quicker than
right.
I mean, come out on digital a bit quicker than they used to, right? Which is one.
And I think I heard the Batman was coming to HBO Max by April.
Oh, really?
That's what I heard.
Wow. Well, I can't get HBO Max over here, so that's a little sucky.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We have another service that sometimes airs HBO Max stuff, so I'm hoping. But to answer your question, SB, my most anticipated figure, probably other than the Batman, is the quarter scale Dark Knight that's getting re-released. I'm a bit into the quarter scale hype at the minute. I love my quarter scale Spidey. Because I also love the bases and the dioramas that come with them. Like I want them.
I'm getting into the quarter scale too. I've had the quarter scale Turtles, but then I have the Batman and the Joker, and I had the Magi cases already ordered, and they don't fit in there. I'm like, do I try to change my order? But it was already too late. So now I'm like, great. Now I got to figure out what I'm doing with these quarter scale figures.
Yeah, that's literally what I have to do too, brother. The only thing I've kind of got is these two cases next to me. One has the Hulkbuster, and this one will be free to put something in. But I think I'm just gonna have to figure something out with them somehow, because I just love the presence of them and the ability to be able to create my own display with them, I guess.
And there's just so much extra detail.
Yeah, straight up. So what I'm doing here is actually a picture that it was inspired by a comic book picture. A pose that was inspired by a comic book picture that I saw not long ago. And it's more of a aerial flight pose that Spidey is very easy to get into. It's also good because a pose like this, right, looks like it could be difficult. But really, there's not that much stress on it because there's a little bit of like bunching in the legs. But the upper body with the arms straight like that, there's no long-term damage there. So you're not really putting it in that much of a stressful position. And if I wanted to, I could just straighten the legs out a little bit more, have him more streamlined, and then there's no risk of damage on the figure. But for the sake of today, I'm going to bend the legs a little bit more for this one. And who else we got? So we got quite a few more people in the chat now, guys. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. I think this time's actually a pretty good time because it's hard for me to figure out what's a good time for the States as well. We've got Luminara in the house now as well. What's up, mate? Thanks for being here. I missed Figure Flex Friday. I'll have to go back and watch that later and catch up on what you guys were doing on there because I know that was this morning as well, which is a fun show. If you ever get a chance, I don't know if you'll be able to because of the time.
I try to. Again, like it's hard enough doing live streams, and then it's still hard to check into everybody's channel. But I try to like at least even for a few minutes just watch people's content. But yeah, it's like I need more time.
Yeah, time is the biggest it's the hardest thing, I think, especially when you're trying to do this stuff as well.
Right.
I'll just add our second banner up because I forgot to do that. The dynamic pose so people know what we're doing. Now, what did you have in mind for this pose? Have you already done it? Oh, wow.
I'm done.
You're crushing me, bro. Hang on. I'll just get my piece that I'm trying to find down here. And
I'm all good. Oh, that's fine.
And then I will bring you up. Where are we? There we go. These little web attachments, they on this one, I've noticed they come off a lot easier.
So you said your favorite Spider-Man's the upgraded suit?
Yeah, it's probably still more so just because I love red and black as well.
Okay.
And I love I love those colors. And I'm actually in the process of I'm going to be picking up a cosplay suit of the red and black, and that's something I really want to do. Yeah, I am. I'm going to be getting into doing birthday parties. That's
I like it.
Yeah, man. I see an opportunity there, and I'm getting like a proper suit. It's probably going to cost me over $2,000 to get. And I'm like, if I can do it as a business and do birthday parties as a business, I want to go all in. Yeah, I want to go all in and get like the proper suit and dress up as Spidey. I'm literally in the process of training for it and getting in shape to be able to not look like a 39-year-old dad.
Yeah, I saw your IG, your video on the. It was I don't want to say rowboating, but an exercise.
Yes, we did a row. So we did just on a rowing machine.
Right.
We did half a marathon on the rower, which was pretty taxing on the body.
I got to get back into it. Ever since COVID, I've just gotten lazy. I've packed on some pounds, and every time I try to get back on it, the kids get sick or something, and then you're getting right back out of that routine. And but it's just tough.
It's not easy, bro. I'm lucky because I work in the gym, so it makes it a lot easier to be able to make that work. But yeah, and that's what I say to people. Like, if you can find some time for yourself, like for me, it was always early in the morning. But now because I do YouTube, it's at lunchtime, and I just like the thing of being lucky about being at work is I can do it at work on my lunch break.
Right.
Which also still has its challenges because, sometimes mentally you're not in it because you've maybe having a hard day or something's going on or, whatever. But it's about finding a time where you can stick to it. And I'm not happy with that. And then just making that your time, time for you.
Well, when I used to work out, once you did it for so long, you didn't even think twice about it. It was just part of your habit, your routine. Yeah. It's just tough to get to that point again when there's so many. Man, look at you. You're on fire here with these super chats.
Jesus. That's been you killing me, bro.
He's going to pay for a figure here.
Oh, hey, I'll get a winged figure and I'll do some wings. Oh, brother. Hang on. Who else we got in here? Philip the Fool. What's up? Blue Tattoo. What's up? Philip the Fool. I'm anxiously awaiting that miles. I know I don't have that miles yet. Damn. Who we got? S-Beam. What you talking about, bro? Last one. I got to get back to work. I enjoy your content thoroughly, bro. Hopefully we can collaborate one day. Share our schedules align. Hell yeah. Take care. Keep posing. Have a good day to both of you. Oh, mate. Thank you so much. And of course,
take care.
As we were saying, it's just it's hard. I'll get you on the show. I tell you what. I'll hit you up on Insta and we'll get you on the show one day. And likewise, I'll try and come on your show. For me, it generally has to be on the weekends, just because through the week is quite tough with everything that's going on. But let's line it up. I definitely will, and I will pay you back, my brother. I appreciate you. Thanks for being here. Absolute legend. All right, let's do you, because I think I just want to tweak my legs on my guy. Let's bring you up while I do that. Let's check him out. What do we got him doing?
So he's just in a little bit of an action shot here. He's taken down one of the droids, which is really cool that he comes with this for the base. If we could get obviously he's got the sand base, so it doesn't really work with this, but you could have it just kind of almost like a little bit of a diorama, but just getting a little bit closer here. He's just kind of in a.
That is sweet. And I remember him doing something like that in the movies, right? Like I feel like I've seen him do with his arm out like that and the lightsaber up. That reminds me of him. Yeah, that's sick.
I think maybe not that angle, but different angles. I think it looks really good. Like if he's going to be higher up, especially, I just think it looks pretty good.
I think that's awesome, mate. And the joints hold well on him. Like he's moving well. You're not finding any issues with how he holds up.
No, he seems fine. The head was a little loose when I took him out of the box, but it seems fine. I think it just works into itself.
That is cool.
The dark side Anakin I got was used, and that body was pretty loose. So that one I don't pose too much.
Yeah. Yeah. So the only Star Wars I have is literally Mando. Mando got me back into it. I watched it growing up. I watched the original movies, but I wasn't into collecting in that sense. And I guess I'm probably more into Marvel DC stuff. It's hard, like you said, I'm Transformers, Marvel, DC, and now Star Wars. It's hard to cover all those bases, especially with like, I've got like 6 Captain Americas, 7 Iron Man, like 7, 8 Spider-Man. It's hard to branch out when I'm wanting to get all these other versions.
That's what I told myself too when I started this. Like, you're not collecting multiples, because if you collect multiples, you can't get, the characters for all the franchises. However, Batman's a different case. I will collect almost every Batman. And then obviously I have 2 Vaders, 3 Jokers. But I think that's it. And I had 2 Spider-Man figures for a little bit, but
that's where I think I'm not from there. I think from maybe from that angle.
That looks pretty sweet.
If I was going to have him on the top shelf, I think it would probably be that angle, I guess. What I'm trying to do here is, and I'm not liking it, is I've had to kind of hook his foot around the pole so he does this. Like oh no, actually he's holding now. He was falling forward before. The picture that I saw that I wanted to try and recreate was where he's like almost arching back fully with his legs going, but this torso doesn't quite twist sideways enough. So I've kind of had to try something a little different. But think of him more like leaping down, as if he's coming down swinging, about to launch a web like that, I guess.
That's a sick figure.
Man, I'm telling you, I don't want to enable you, but I will enable you. I don't want to, but I will. Where are we? So let's pull him back a little bit. As if he's swinging in. Now, he does move really well. I just think the Tom Holland Spideys move a little bit better. From that angle, it doesn't look so good. But if you had him in your DTOF or in your display from, say, that angle, and I think that's something people need to be mindful of as well. When you're doing a pose, it's not always going to look good from all angles. So you got to think about where you're going to see it from, which is hard when I do my videos because it goes around on the turntable and you're going to see it from shitty angles sometimes. You know what I mean? Like it's just the nature of and that's the hardest part for me. But I think from this angle, coming in maybe, if I had him interacting with the diorama he comes with and have the scorpion tail coming around somewhere, I think that would look pretty cool from that angle. I think. See what he looks like from there. Maybe even there a little bit. Yeah, probably like that. So that's that one. Bit of fun. I mean, it's hard. It is hard doing it and talking to the chat. And normally I would like to take a little bit more time to get the pose right. When you're doing your videos, as you know, you can take as long as you want to get it ready, right? Get it right. Get the angles. But let's move on to the third one. We might as well start doing the third one because, we'll get it out of the way and that way we can chat. We'll change the banner. Now, this is pretty much how are you going to put it back on the shelf? What are you going to do? How are you going to put it back in your display when you put him back in there? What's the go? Because I have an idea that I want to try with this one. And I see you've got the Marvel light box back there as well. How cool are they? Like I literally only just got mine.
Oh, it's really cool. Mine's not the Hot Toys brand. Is yours?
No, okay. Mine's I actually don't know what mine is.
Does yours have the push button instead of like a switch? It's just a push button.
It does have a push button. Yeah,
I think we have the same one then. It's really bright. So you almost don't even need to have it on.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like I've got batteries in there at the moment, but when I put it, are you using batteries or are you going to use USB?
I have mine hardwired so that I can just have them on. But I'm waiting for tomorrow. I have like a USB-C adapter coming so I can hook it up to that. So it's the only one not on right now.
Okay.
You just got yourself another super chat, and while you're reading that, I have to go get a needle nose pliers.
Oh shit! Okay, I will do that, sir. Blue Tattoo, thank you so much. What's up? Enjoying the figure talk and posing. Love the show, guys. What you'll think about the KX Enforcer droids? Well, thank you so much. KX Enforcer droids. I am not against it, as I think they look cool. I don't have the original figure. Graham's probably going to be able to answer this question a little bit better for you. It's not a figure that I would pick up, just because it's hard to pick it up when I'm literally all in on the No Way Home line, which will take up most of my next year, getting all those figures. But what do you think, Graham? What do you think about the droid release?
So for me, I'm undecided. I'm going to kind of wait and see for when it drops, what else is dropping around that time. I did like the K2SO figure, and I did want to get him. Having said that, I don't have any other Rogue One figures except for the Shore Trooper. So at the same time, I don't know if it makes sense to get them for me, but I'm glad that they're kind of reissuing it. However, on my show on Monday, we're going to talk about like if grails are dead or a thing of the past, because it seems like every time something hits a certain grail status, Hot Toys is like, oh, we want to get it back in on this, and they'll find a way to reissue it. So I'm happy for everybody that missed out on it, because now you don't have to pay hundreds of dollars to get it.
Yeah.
But I'm undecided. I think it looks cool. I think it's a really cool figure. I just don't know if it makes sense for me in my collection as it sits today.
Yeah. Now, I guess to touch on that a bit more, Blue, is for creating an epic scene. So if I'm thinking about posing and displays and all that stuff, I would love to have it in the sense of like, I would have like 5 or 6 and you can have this massive battle, and I could put my Mandos in there and Ahsoka when it comes, and if you could do like an awesome display diorama to recreate that moment, I think it would be epic. Just financially, there's other things I want more that I care about, I guess, more than getting that. What about yourself? Is that something that you're looking forward to? Are you happy, Blue? Like, is that something that you want to get? I will say this though, like I know a couple of other guys have been upset that they are releasing it, right, Graham? But you know, they don't just magically release it. They've obviously been working on it for a while, and it's been in production. It's because they don't communicate that we don't know, right?
Right.
How long they've been working on something. So like you look at when we interviewed John from Queen Studios about the Joker piece on Justin's show, he talked about they've been planning this for nearly 2 years. And wow. you only just saw the image a couple of weeks before he started doing the press tour, essentially. So one, they could have been working on this figure for a long time, or a period coming up to it, because they would have seen the show. But also, they're probably privy to things that we don't know. And if the final season of Mando is going to be a war for Mandalore, maybe these droids are going to play more of a part in the next season or future seasons. So I know some people are upset that it was only in the show for like a couple of minutes, or not even. It was a flashback, not even. But what if when season 3 of Mando starts, they're in it, or they're a part of a war, like, so that, because Hot Toys might know all this stuff. They know all this stuff before we know any of it, because they've got to make it to get it ready, or work on it to get the artwork ready to create the prototype before the show comes out. So I'd just, hold reservation and see what happens. They might play a bigger part down the road. They might even show up in Obi-Wan Kenobi, right? Because that's around Rogue One time, which was
it's 10 years before A New Hope.
10 years. Yeah, okay. So 10 years before. So do you think they could be in it then? Like, there could be a possibility they could be in Obi-Wan?
It could be.
You know what I mean? So there might be more. And obviously, if you're thinking business-wise, they've already got the molds. They've already done most of it. It's going to be a lower cost for them to make, to get it out there, right? Which could make them some money. So looking at it a bit from a business and not an emotional standpoint,
right?
business-wise, it probably makes sense to, hey, we can just quickly make this and get it out there. Because Hot Toys have never said that they are in it to make grails for to never.
Right.
Like, you know, it's us. It's us that say that. It's not them.
They're in it to make money.
They're in it to make money. You know what I mean? They're not doing it for that. They're doing it they're just making stuff, you know, and it's the fact that we don't know what they're thinking that we speculate a lot and we think, you know, why are they doing this? They're taking away these grails. Well, they're not looking at it like that. They don't care, man. They're making toys. They're not saying, they're not trying to make exclusive pieces.
If you're buying it, business is good. So let's make business.
Exactly. So they're probably going, okay, this is a character that's come back. We can remake it. We can get it out there. People are going to want to buy it because they might want to, you know, add it to their collection if they didn't get it before. There's all different variables. So I would hold reservation. One, I think it's probably going to make more of an appearance down the road. Two, they've probably been working on it for ages. It makes sense as a business. You've already got the mold. It's going to cost you less money to make, less R&D. Yeah, that's just how I see it anyway. That's just me. So I hope that answers your question, Blue. Now, what I want to try and do with this guy is, I don't know if I can do it, but let's see. You know what poses I actually love the most, Graham? It's the ones where you see that are so simple. Like, I'm going to try and do it now with him reading the newspaper. But like, it's ones where like they're leaning against a wall, or the casual, like, you know, like they're just in a casual human pose with maybe their arms folded. I actually love those types of poses.
I do too.
And when I do my display, I'm going to have a lot of those types of poses. Like, what I want to try and do now is have him casually leaning against this with the newspaper open, because I think that would just look sick in the display if I could have him like leaning, chilling, reading the paper. I did the other day. I had him laying on it, looking up, reading the paper, and I thought, what about if I could get him like chilling, kicking back, reading? So that's what I'm going to try and do now.
I was going to have my Spider-Man sitting on my light box in the case as well, but again, being that I like to have him in poses a little bit more long term, I just couldn't bear to ruin the suit. But I was like, man, some of the stuff I want to do, but
yeah,
I can't.
I feel you on that. Yeah, you know, if we could just all have two of everything, that would be cool. Because then I could do that stuff and not have to worry about it.
Exactly.
Right? That would be the ideal way. Yeah. So what's the next video you're going to be working on? Like, when you're thinking about reviews and stuff, like, have you got something that you got the urge to make, or like, what are you thinking?
Yeah, actually, let me look at my notes here. I mean, a lot of the stuff is more of like discussion topics for the live stream.
Mm-hmm.
But things that I want to talk about are Hot Toys nameplates on bases and just the bases in general. And like we kind of touched upon, going more towards diorama base. And do we really need the nameplates on these, or does it take away from the actual base itself? Like, I think 99% of the time we know who the figure is.
You're shelling out the money to get it, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you're paying for it. You would want to hope you know who it is, right? So I agree. Right. I don't know if you need it,
but as it pertains to videos, I do want to do the Maju case versus DTOFs. I'll probably do another collection tour now that they're in the Maju cases themselves.
Yeah,
and then I'll probably review the Joker, the quarter scale Joker. Add that to the repertoire that we have.
I would love to see that, mate. I'd love to see that.
And then I do have the Bat Pod coming in on Tuesday as well.
Oh, wow.
So I'll probably review that as well.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I want that. I actually do want that. I just haven't pulled the trigger.
I used some points, so I got like $45 off, and then
nice.
I think I'm gonna have Catwoman straddling it, so it'll just look good in the case again. And I really want the tumbler, but I can't fit it anywhere. So, and even if I could, that thing's gonna take up a whole cube by itself. So it's like,
yeah,
is it worth losing all of that real estate? I don't know.
Would you have like Batman in there next to it though, and then maybe like imagine no, because that's the bike that he does that with. Imagine getting the Queen Studio Joker with the pistol, Batman on the Bat Pod at either end of the Moji case.
That'd be cool,
bro. I got to get that Bat Pod.
Well, and that Queen Studio Joker too. Like I have the DX11, but that Queen Studio, like the proportions just look so accurate. Like he looks just like in that scene where he's like got the head kind of down, the shoulders just look accurate. Just kind of like I have a hard time getting this Joker into that pose. So I'm really excited for that realistic factor as well that he kind of brings.
Yeah. I feel you. Man, this is going to fall over. I've got to try and figure this out. I can feel it falling over. GG, what are you saying? Come on, what's going on? You will ride if Marco has to. Come on. Poor Marco. Just let him,
Be nice to Marco.
Yeah, look, we all know he made a mistake and got the wrong Wonder Woman. That you can slap him for. I would approve that message.
What Wonder Woman did he get?
Well, he had the option to get the one with the big wings. Now, I know you don't have the one with the big wings, but he had the option to get it. And he chose against it. Marco, GG, yeah, I got you back on that one. You can, when you see him next, just but then let him get a double of a figure that he wants to get, just to make it up to him. I don't think I've pulled this off very well. I think I need to. I don't know if I like that, but I'm trying to get him to just like kick back. I think he's too stiff. I need to figure out a way to like this kind of needs to be. What about if it was like that?
Easy now.
Yeah, Jesus. Well, look, I haven't dropped him yet, so that's what I'm saying. This is what I do, Graham. I drop.
Something I'm finding that's really easy too in the Maju cases. Now that it's not just a cube, it's all open. I find that when I'm trying to be careful and move a figure and I knock one, it's like dominoes. And now I'm like, oh, shit. Oh, no. Like, dude, you almost just hold your breath, you close your eyes and just stop.
I'm glad you told me because I'm probably going to be the guy that happens to. Like, I'll have them set up and they'll all just freaking tumble down. Maybe I could do it like this and then have him cut. Okay, I'm going to think about that for a second. Let's take a look. So I'm just gonna think about it for a second, just for a second, and see how we could do it. I'm trying to think about how you put your feet when you're leaning up against a wall. Like, it's kind of like that, right?
You cross them, or
it's kind of like a cross with the one leg out.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and then his torso. I just find this guy's torso is a lot longer because he's more of an adult, I guess, than the Tom Holland. I'm trying to use my microphone here as the. Let me know, guys, if that's too noisy as the thing to stop this from falling backwards. I have his leg like that. It's tough to get him to, there we go.
Gotta find
that look okay from that angle? Yeah, right? Like, and then tilt his head down a little bit more. Get the newspaper out. This newspaper accessory is so detailed. It's unbelievable.
And that came with the figure?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. It came with him. And I'd say, like, the whole time I was making the video, I'm like, how can I use this freaking newspaper? And it wasn't until the last pose that I actually figured out a way to, and that I wanted to use it that not everybody else had already done.
Do you have the Miles Morales figures?
I don't know, but I would like to get it. I've kind of held off playing the video game because I know once I play it and get an attachment to it, I'll want to get it. So it's best that I don't until I can see it fitting in my collection. Oh man, he does not want to stay. There we go.
So you don't have the two from, or the one from Into the Spider-Verse?
No.
I like that one, but he looked, I don't know. The proportions are different because he's kind of animated, so I just didn't know how it would look with all the other ones.
Yeah, and I do like the film. There we go. Boom. I think, let's see. And plus, like, I'm so, like, I don't know about you, but I am a massive fan of the Tom Holland Spidey, and I love the way they ended No Way Home. I'm just, I'm biased like that, I guess.
I really liked No Way Home, but the first two were just okay for me. I didn't feel like maybe the villain was up to par, or the story was they were good, but like,
yeah,
I don't know. I really like the Amazing Spider-Man movies.
yeah, they were cool too. There we
A lot
go.
of people hate on them, but that looks good.
They did. I'm sweating. So we got him reading the we got him reading the paper. You can't see his feet properly because of the banner there, but it's a way of just incorporating. The only thing is he doesn't have another hand for like holding it. So he has like one hand that's good for holding it, but the rest is like the open palm hand, which it's just not as good for holding the paper. But it is what it is. But this is how I would put him on the shelf like this. Like if I could have him leaning up against something. Maybe leaning up against the diorama that it comes with would have been a smarter idea if I actually thought about it properly. I would have bought the diorama and had him lean up against the diorama, but it is what it is. We got the women riding in here too. Gigi and Lani. So Lani's my wife. Riding never helps Gigi. They just smile and then think of buying triple of each. Well, I wouldn't buy triple, but I would buy double. So, it is what it is. And she wants to know if that's the Batman factor, but that is not.
Yeah, so that's the Hot Toys quarter scale figure, but it's really awesome.
It looks epic. I'm jealous.
And everybody said it was Hot Toys' best figure that they've done in quarter scale or 6 scale, and I can agree with that. So, I mean, maybe the new one will have better paint applications, but I don't think they're going to be doing too much different outside of the base.
Yeah. Well, I mean, nothing's changed. You know what I mean? It's the same character. It's the same figure. And that's where I'm glad when they do things like that I could go back and get some. You know what I mean? Like for new collectors. That's the conundrum that we're in this game is we need the businesses to continue to make money so they can continue to make stuff. So they need new customers. And new customers, if you were just getting into it now, Graham, and you didn't have any figures, and they didn't re-release anything, like
that's tough.
How that would be, you know what I mean? Like you wouldn't be able to if you couldn't find it on the aftermarket, or if you did, you'd have to pay through the noses, right? I think that's what people need to remember is if they didn't, and they did have it limited, and they didn't do stuff, I feel like it would be harder for the collecting community to grow more because these companies would make less money. Because maybe not as many people would get into it. If I couldn't go back and get some of the Iron Mans that I wanted and the caps that I wanted, if you're an Iron Man fan and you get into collecting now and Iron Man's dead, let's say, and then they're not making any more,
right?
You're going to be kind of like upset, I would imagine, and it might deter you from getting into the game. So that's kind of the stuff that I think about when they.
That's a good way of thinking about it.
When they re-release these
we
things.
tend to always just think about ourselves. So, we don't like it.
Yeah, that's right. I know some people hate that they remake things, and I'm like, I get that, but you're not thinking about everybody. Like, you're not thinking about everybody else. You got to think about what if it was a figure that you really wanted, and you couldn't get it.
I'm really glad that they're reissuing all the Batman figures because, well, A, I missed out on most of them, so I had to go backwards. But then B, they're super outdated. So like, getting an upgraded Catwoman and the DX19, it's just going to be great for collectors.
Yeah, man. I think so. When you get the, are you getting the DX19?
I do have it pre-ordered. So I have the DX12 with the armory head and then a custom cape.
Okay.
It's a really good after all of those customizations, but I think I'll still get the DX19 and then maybe have the Christian Bale head sculpt on this one or something like that.
Yeah. I think that's well, I want to get that one. Like because I don't have any of the Christian Bale or Dark Knight stuff in my collection at the moment. Like I want to get the DX19 and the quarter scale because in my mind I'm like I can have them together. Have like the big guy on the top, the little guy maybe on the bike below it. Or with Catwoman on the bike and him next to it. I don't know, something like that. I don't know if you've seen on Instagram, Young Bum. I'm pretty sure everybody probably has. He does toy photography.
Okay.
But he does a lot of shrines where he has like multiple of the same character. And I love looking at that stuff. Like I'm okay with seeing a display that has 5 to 6 different versions of the same figure, but all interacting together as kind of like a shrine to admire them on. I love that stuff. Like different iterations of the character. So that's kind of what I'm more into collecting, as in I get lots of the same character if I really like them, rather than lots of different characters. I think that's why I'm a bit different to other people. Obviously, if I had the money, I would, but I've got to be a little selective. I've got to get out there and hustle on the streets a little bit more.
So you're selective, but in the opposite aspect. You're selective on getting those few characters.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, actually, if I think about it, like if I'm thinking about what's coming up next year, well, I've got the Joker coming, and I'm probably going to get all the Dark Knight stuff that's redone because I want that. That's one of my favorite trilogies, as I'm sure it's probably one of yours, being that you're
the favorite. Yep.
Yeah, so I really want that, and then it's Spider-Man: No Way Home. I'm all in on that, and then probably all the Iron Mans that I don't have that are coming out, like the Mark 1, the Mark 5. The quarter scale gantry that's probably going to end my that's going to end me like, that one's not going to be cheap, not over here in down under. It's going to be a pretty penny.
If you can too, get the Dark Knight bat signal. It's a really cool figure accessory to have. So if you're getting like the bat pod and all the figures, I have the bat signal as well, and it's pretty impressive in person.
Nice.
So
is it because I don't think I've seen that one. Is it quite large? Like, does it scale well?
Yeah. It's about this tall.
Nice.
About this wide. But it looks great with the other figures, and it came with, I think it came with Commissioner Gordon and the cop Robin. I always forget his cop name.
Yeah.
But I just got mine loose, so I didn't have to pay.
That's cool.
The rear end.
I saw your video on that where you talk about that, finding things loose, and I really like that. I hadn't actually thought of that before, and seeing that, like, that's what I like about us getting to meet other content creators. Like, you're doing things that I haven't even thought of, and when I see that, I'm like, oh, that makes so much sense. Like, I took a lot away from that. That video that you did on how to not go broke, I really like that one. That's a great one. I appreciate it. And for people who haven't seen that, you should definitely check that out, because that's a good episode. I love stuff like that.
I appreciate that.
And that's something I would never make that, because I'm not thinking like that. So I love that there are people like you who do those types of videos, and I think that's what sets you apart from, say, someone else's. You're coming up with these different, like the Moji stuff. Like, I'm excited for those videos of yours, because I'm like, well, now I can look to that and kind of understand a bit better. Mm-hmm. I know other people have done them, but I don't know who those are. You know what I mean? Right. I haven't found them. So I'll just, when I get it, I'll just look at yours. You know what I mean? Like, because I know you now, so I'll just look at yours as opposed to looking at someone I don't know.
I appreciate it.
How I've learned. So I think doing that stuff is great. And even with the reviews and stuff, even though other people do review, and I've learned it's not for me as much, I still like that different people do it, because we all have different points of view.
Yep.
And I might like your point of view better than someone else's, and that's why people tune into your point of view, because they want to hear you talk about it, not someone else talk about it, even though we're talking about the same thing. You know what I mean? Right. So I think there's a place for everything, but but before we forget, let's look at your freaking pose. I nearly forgot your for the shelf pose, brother. What do we got?
Oh yeah, we didn't, did we?
No, I was thinking of it. I'm like, did we look at yours? No, he's just standing there. Wow. Boom. That is cool.
Let me see here.
So that's how he goes on the shelf, just doing a force, or he's getting ready.
So we'll see. Yeah, he's just kind of, this is when he met Grievous, and he did the 2-finger point.
Yes, that's right. That is cool. That is cool. How are his ankles? Are they?
They're good. They kind of have like there's a little bit of wiggle there, but then.
Oh wow! Okay, nice.
The boot kind of just hides the joint, so you have some freedom with it.
He's like Spidey ankles then, when you think about it like that, and that going that way. That's sick. Wow. Yeah, I like it. You happy with how he's moved around for you then? You think
he's not like too tight, but not loose, so it seems like an easy figure to pose. And then when you have the whole outfit, other than the boots, are fabric, but the boots themselves are just covering the joint, so it's not like they're restricted. So I think he's going to be a lot of fun to pose. I don't know if I'll keep him in this long term or not, but we'll see.
Yeah. That's cool though, how you can take the jacket off. I love the extra accessories that you get. And does he come with a lot of accessories?
No. He comes with a printed base, like the terrain that's printed on, the outfit, and then some hands, and then the droid parts. So I didn't get the deluxe. The deluxe has the table with the Emperor and the Anakin. I can't remember the term. You know, when he sees them, the video of them basically.
Yes.
Anakin's kneeling. So that comes with that, and then the deluxe comes with the baby Luke as well.
Oh, okay. The baby Luke.
I just scored too good of a deal on this one, so I wanted the deluxe, but I was like, well, I'd rather just have an Obi-Wan. So
yeah, why not, mate? Like, I completely get that. That's so cool, though. And well, I guess before we get close to wrapping up, because I'm mindful of your time, because I know it must be getting close to 10 o'clock there. I wanted to kind of just talk to you about like how family works with you and your collecting, because being we both have a family, I like to talk about people and how that works with the little ones. Like your room, is that off limits to the little ones, or how are they when they come in? Are they, do they know to be careful? Like, what's the deal with that?
So this room is has dual functions. There's a closet right here.
Yep.
And that's nice. It's almost like a room size closet, and it's the toy room. So it's right next to it. And then we have TV, couch, and everything. So this room is my room, but it's also the kids' playroom when we're down here.
Nice.
But they're very good about like not banging on the glass, or my oldest, who's 4, every now and then I'll say she wants to help me pose a figure. So it always seems to be cool. Gamora, though. And I'm like, well, I have Gamora in the pose that I like her. And so I'm like, let's do something else. No, but like, I don't know if I hate to say it this way, but I don't know if they think it's kind of relatable to like Barbies. So
yes,
like, can we repose a figure together? Sure. And my youngest, I'm a little bit more leery, but I got this set up yesterday, and my oldest came running down for something. And I just hear her screaming, and she's like, oh my God, you guys got to look at this. Because she didn't see the setup right away. So, things like that just make my heart happy that they even care enough to even acknowledge it. For a while, my oldest wanted to watch Batman Returns. She called it the Penguin movie. And I'm like, doesn't this scare you? And it's like, okay, I'll watch it. She watched Into the Spider-Verse a few times. She kind of goes to the next thing, but like they kind of humor me with that. So, the wife puts up with the collecting, but obviously she's not really into it, but she supports me by letting me do it. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because I know we got JJ in the chat as well. She supports Marco, but she's maybe not as into it as much as he is. It's cool that like us getting into things like that our partners support us, and I'm trying to be mindful of that with my wife. Is I've got to support her and what she's into as well, because my thing takes up quite a bit of time,
right?
Or our thing that takes up quite a bit of our time.
And I don't know if I want to say she supports it or just tolerates it and just
Would she ever hop in the chat? Is she ever in there? Is she ever like?
Oh no,
lurking in the shadows? No.
Oh no. Yeah, she's not like Gigi where she even gives a damn. Like she's like, no, I don't want anything to do with it. Whatever. I'm just like, that's okay.
Will she watch the shows with you though, and the movies? Does she get into those?
I did get her into The Mandalorian because she really thought Grogu was cute, and my kids like Baby Yoda, so they watched that with me. Nice. They did watch like the 2 episodes that had Mando in the Book of Boba, just because I'm like, well, you gotta watch this because season 3 kind of picks up from this. I tried to get her to watch Peacemaker, but she kind of faded off in the first episode of that. She said it stressed her out with how kind of raunchy and everything it was. So
yes. Oh, but I do love that show. I love Peacemaker. I thought it was just. I think James Gunn has just got a really good sense of humor and just direction, just style. Like I really dig his style, man. The style is really cool. Like, Suicide Squad, I really enjoyed that. Like I still feel like that's one of the most violent movies I've ever seen.
I know.
When I think about it, it's way more violent than what I thought.
The wife watched that with me, and every time something like that, she's like, okay, like, did they need to do that? Like, I'm like, yes.
Yeah. Yes, they did. It's for the love.
Yeah. I'm surprised Hot Toys hasn't made more figures from the Suicide Squad. I know it didn't do like fabulous, but like, how do we not have Bloodsport, Harley Quinn in the red dress? I thought for sure that would have been one of the first ones they would have made.
For sure, mate. I would get that one too.
I would
like,
too.
If out of all of them, I would want that one. Like, I think, and that scene of like that moment of where she just goes on a rampage, that's iconic for me. When I think about that, that's the best scene I think about her being in. When I'm thinking about the scenes, I have only watched it once. I do need to watch it again. But just, I feel like she was great in this movie. She was really at her peak of being Harley Quinn in this one. I feel like.
Well, I don't think
we're not going to get anything.
I don't think they can just settle on King Shark. Like, why make King Shark if you're not going to make anything else? So I'm wondering if they're just not there yet. But I guess we'll see.
It's a strange one, man. Because and Idris Elba, like that figure,
he's a great actor.
With John Cena, he's a great actor. Yeah. He's a great actor. I love his show Luther. If you've ever seen that,
no, I don't think so.
He's got it's a BBC show. Oh, mate, I highly recommend it. It's a show where he plays a detective in London, and it's pretty intense. Like, they only do like 3 or 4 episode seasons.
Okay.
If anybody in the chat has seen this, weigh in and back me up here, because it's pretty scary in the sense of he's dealing with like serial killers and criminals, but he's also like a real anti-hero. He's like, he skirts the line of what's right and what's wrong, but inevitably, I can't even say the word.
Inevitably,
he's good in it. Yes, he's good. He is good. I'm sorry, guys. I'm working on 4 hours sleep. He is good.
The first time I saw Idris Elba was in The Office. Do you watch The Office?
Yeah, I love The Office. Oh, mate, I can't believe you just said that. Actually, oh, okay, yeah.
That was the first time I saw Idris Elba, was when he was the new boss, and him and Michael were like going at it. And then after that, I just started seeing him in a bunch of stuff. So
yes.
But every time I see him, though, I always go back to that.
Yeah. Can you just give me a rundown? Literally, I need that rundown. You remember that?
Yep.
It's so funny that you say that. I'm going to share a bit of news here then. I can't believe that. That's so funny. I'm literally starting a show next week called The Rundown, based off that moment from The Office. I'm not even shitting you, bro. Like, it's called The Rundown from that, where he's like, Jim, can you give me a rundown? Like, that cracks me up so much. I'm like, I'm going to call my show that.
I could have done this in 10 to 15 minutes. It's just so awkward, especially when he's wearing the tux, and you're like embarrassed for him.
Yeah, because normally Jim's the cool guy, but it's like he became the Dwight in that relationship to a degree, which I thought was so freaking hilarious. Oh man, that's so funny. That is so, mate. I literally was watching that clip because I cut out a clip that I'm going to put in the show of him saying that.
That's crazy.
For you to bring that up now, that is madness.
I love that show.
Yeah.
The rewatchability is 100%.
Mate, 100% with you. We've literally, like, on TV down here, it's on our normal TV. Like, it's on one of the normal free-to-air channels. And they just repeat the season. They play it through and it just keeps repeating. So every night, you get 2 to 3, I think it's 2 or 3 episodes a night. We just have it on in the background while we're doing stuff. It's just, we have it on every night.
And once you watch it so much, all you need is it in the background, and it's just still like you're watching, but you're doing other stuff.
Yeah, and because we already know everything, we've seen it so many times over. It's just like that nostalgia thing of like just having it there. And when a classic episode comes on, something like that episode, you get into it again. And like, we'll be doing homework with our daughter, or doing stuff on our computers, or whatever, and it's just on, and it's just there. It's one of those just awesome shows. If you haven't seen The Office, guys, anybody in the chat, go watch the damn Office.
And don't tell me it doesn't match your humor. Like, some people tell me that. I'm like, did you give it a chance?
Yeah, get through the first season of Michael Scott,
but even
he's really obnoxious.
Even the basketball episode is just so funny. It's like, what is with me today? I usually make those.
That was literally on a couple of days ago. That episode was on a couple of days ago, mate.
I think my favorite episode is when he had to fire somebody in season 2 during Halloween, and he's so bad at it.
Man, and it's one of those shows that even when he left, it was still good.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
I
it
thought,
found a way to still be good.
I mean, it wasn't as good, but I thought I always forget his name. The actor, the dry actor who took over as the boss.
Andy.
Not
He's in The
not
Hangover.
No, not him. The older guy
Oh,
with the glasses.
James Spader. James
Yes,
Spader.
I thought he was
Yes.
hilarious.
Yes.
With his humor.
Yeah, he was classic. He's Ultron. He was Ultron. Yeah,
Yep.
Ultron.
That's right.
Yeah, he is hilarious. I do love that show. And I tell you what, I'm looking forward to Moon Knight. I see Gigi knows what's up. She's like, Moon Knight's the best. Yes, it is the best. Represent. If I could get a Michael Scott in 1/6, I'd do it.
That'd be great. I still have some of my, because I did get rid of most of my Funko Pops. I have some Marvel, a couple Batmans, but then I still have a handful of Office Pops as well.
Nice. Yeah, I think I've got a Michael Scott and a Dwight somewhere around. I would just let you know, my screen is flickering. So if anything happens here, guys, I don't know what's going on.
Good night.
My screen's like flickering on me. It's quite hot here, and I actually have the fan like facing me to try and keep the computer from overheating. I'm just worrying if it's actually, because I use my computer for this, so I'm actually filming off my computer screen. If it's happened to me before where it's overheated and just turned off, so maybe we'll start to wrap up, because I don't want to get cut off without saying goodbye to everybody and yourself, obviously. But mate, look, I've had such a pleasure chatting to you. I feel like we could talk for so much longer.
Oh, yeah.
Like legit. Like now that I know that you're an Office fan like myself, man, I can talk. We can just do a whole episode on bloody The Office. I tell you what.
We'll just rank our favorite Office episodes.
Yes. Oh man, yeah. It's a good show to bond over, that's for sure. But look, I really appreciate you being here, mate. Let me bring up. I'm getting good with these banners now, guys. Watch
there you
out.
Go.
Because we've got another banner here now. Make sure you subscribe to Jedi Knights Watch on YouTube and Insta. Everybody, if you haven't already, go check him out. He has good information. What else you got coming up on the channel? Let everybody know, mate. What's going on?
Yeah, so the module cases just got assembled this week. So have a few videos out on just different assembly instructions for anybody that might be in the market or new to module case that might need help, because they don't come with instructions. I think they have instructions online, but they're not the greatest. So you can check that out. We do a live stream Monday nights. It is at 8:30 p.m. Central Time in the States. And it's a lot of fun. I usually have a couple guys on for the panel. We talk about new figures. We talk about just different topics. I always do a Hot Toys versus game, which I think John would really like. And if you ever could make it, just let me know. Man. I don't want to keep asking you, because I know you said during the week is rough. But if you're ever off work or something and you want to do Monday night, Tuesday your time.
It'd be Tuesday for me, 9:30. So it'd be 9:30 a.m. Tuesday. I can actually do that because I have a bit of a deal with my owners that I can move around a couple of hours per week, so I can do stuff.
How much notice would you need?
Like a day. Really.
Okay. I usually send invites out like on Friday. So
let me know and I'll make it work.
Okay. But so so what we do with the versus game is we do like, I had the Joker DX8 versus the DX11. You can only pick one to be in your collection. Which would it be and why? So we play that kind of game.
That is cool.
But we're gonna do module case versus DTOF video. I'd like to review the quarter scale Joker, and then the other video that I actually have in the queue is where not to display your Hot Toys display. So I want to do that as well. But
that is cool. See, I love that stuff. I love different content like that. That is awesome.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to do, is just come out with things that, hasn't been run into the ground or, talked about obnoxiously. But thank you so much for inviting me. I was actually really pleasantly surprised when I heard from you. So it was quite awesome. Cool to get the invite, and I appreciate it. And if we can do this again, I'll be more than happy to do it with you. Now that I got my first one out of the way, I definitely feel a little bit more comfortable.
Oh, you crushed it. You crushed it, mate. Easy. You made it look easy. And it's not easy. It's not easy posing live. It's not easy because you're trying to think and talk, and you did great. I loved having you on. I've started watching your stuff for a while there. And like what I do is I start finding content creators. I start watching, and then I'll start exploring. And then if I feel like we're going to have a good chat, I'll reach out and then kind of go from there like that. So I appreciate you making the time to come on, mate. I really do. I had a great chat. Look, we're going to talk more. We're going to talk more about The Office. That's for sure. That's for sure. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, so everybody for being here. My screen is flickering so much. I hope it doesn't die in this next couple of minutes. Please hold on just a little bit longer for me, laptop. I might need to upgrade the laptop soon, possibly. But for me, next on the channel, I will be dropping the video on this classic suit Spidey, which is one of my favorite that I've done. I've really put a lot of effort into it with the poses and just trying to get creative, guys. If it's ready, I will drop it after this within maybe an hour or so. I don't know about you, Graham, but when I'm uploading to YouTube, for me, it takes forever to process in HD. Like I had it processing in HD like last night at about 6 o'clock, and it still was processing this morning in HD. And like I refreshed and it still says processing. So I don't know what the heck's going on with it. It seems to take
every once in a while. It takes a really, really long time. I record in 4K, so I would say from the time I hit the upload button to the time it's processed in 4K, it's probably 4 to 5 hours.
Yeah. See, no, I'm taking way longer, and I do 4K too. So I'm like, what the hell? Like, I literally started processing it at 6 o'clock last night. So it's over 12 hours, and it's still saying processing. So I'll try to refresh it and see what's up. But I think the video is nearly 9 gigs long, 9 gigs in size.
That's not terrible.
Right? It's only like 25 minutes. So I'm not quite sure what the deal is there. But anyway, I don't know. It could be my internet.
There might be a chance you'd have to delete it and re-upload it.
Oh, God.
I think I had to do that once because I think I had the problem just once where it kept processing and it never got fully high quality.
Yeah, that's frustrating.
Maybe give it another day.
That's not the case. Yeah, I'll refresh it. If I'll let the laptop have a rest for a minute after we're done, and then I'll go back and check on it. But what else we got going on? So next week we're doing Posed Up again. I'll have Mia on this time to chat. She's been on Lael's stream before once, so I'm going to have her on to chat collecting next week. Probably next Saturday for me, which will be Friday night for you guys. Got this video dropping. What else? I will be starting a new show with Anthony from Figure Posing channel. Sorry, Anthony, you kill me. We're going to be it's called The Rundown, funnily enough, and we're going to be running down, talking about, I guess. The reason why I call it The Rundown because I've never done movie or show reviews before, but we're going to be reviewing Moon Knight and going along the journey and talking about each episode and giving a rundown on the Moon Knight and kind of playing off that we don't know what the hell we're doing, pretty much. We're just going to have some fun with it and talk about it. And I'm really looking forward to this show. So I'm going to give that a crack and just see if I can make it entertaining for people. So stay tuned for that. That'll be next week, possibly next Sunday for me, which would be Saturday for you guys, after a couple of days after it's aired, and it will have spoilers. So I'll make sure everybody's aware not to tune in if you haven't watched it yet. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And then Take Your Position live this Sunday on Lael's channel, where we're going to be doing some godlike poses. I'm just putting it out there now. I'm actually planning for this one, and I'm going to try and do something crazy with 7 to 8 Spideys and 4 villains, and I'm going to break something. I can feel it. I'm going to give it a go and see if we can create something fun. And then lastly, you'll catch me on Justin's collection on Monday, our time, after that show as well. So yeah, it's going to be a busy week. But Graham, thanks for being here, brother. I really appreciate it. Sorry. Lastly, I am doing a giveaway. I keep forgetting. I'm terrible. I'm giving away 2 custom capes with Unreal Toys on Instagram once we hit 2.5K subscribers. Which reminds me, you're nearly at 2K, right?
I'm about 20 away.
Guys, anybody in the chat or anybody who watches this, hop onto Graham's channel and let's get him to 2K. Can we do it today? Anybody?
I'm 21 away. 21.
Come on, guys. Let's get him there. I'm still a bit further away. I'm about 1.7. But my goal is to get to the 2.5 with the custom capes, and we'll give them away to someone. And the way we're going to do it is I think you can pick what figure you want to get the capes for if Unreal Custom Toys makes it. All you got to do is pay the shipping, because each cape is about $150 worth. So it's about $300 value that, or so. I'm just going off Australian dollars when you get it. So if you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hop over to Graham's channel, subscribe to the channel. Let's get him to 2K. Let's get him there. I want to see him get there. You got to be on 2K by the time I show up on your show next. That's the goal.
Oh, no doubt.
We got to, after this, hopefully, fingers crossed, let's get you there, brother. You deserve it. I love your content, and more people need to see it. And I look forward to doing it again. But until next time, everybody, live life, have fun, keep posing. We out. Don't die on my computer.